Hey everybody, this is Maxine Taylor, America's first licensed astrologer, with my Trumpology report for March 2020. Okay, well, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. There's so much going on, I can't even keep track. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've combined all the charts to two, so it's going to be real easy to describe. First of all, this is the chart for the sun in Trump's house as it circles the zodiac, as it circles his horoscope, his natal chart. The sun, here it is, the yellow planet, uh, starts off the month in his seventh house of uh, partnership, whether it's personal, whether it's business, whether it's with leaders of other countries, or whether it's with Melania. Other people are the center of his world now, and other people then are calling the shots, interacting one-on-one, because that's the seventh house. He loves that, the one-on-one. Now, the seventh house also deals with litigation, the lower courts. And with the sun there, this is a positive aspect for him. In other words, if he's to go to court for anything, um, the sun is the giver of life. Now, you might say, well, his adversaries are winning. And this is another thought. The seventh house deals with the other people. In a political contest, the first house would be Trump. The seventh house would be the Democrats. And so while there is certainly the possibility of wonderful rapport with some people, it also shows that his open enemies, the seventh house is the house of open enemies, seem to be doing very nicely. Okay, on the 20th of the month, I better put my glasses on here. On the 20th of the month, the sun, on the 13th of the month, the sun moves into his eighth house. Now, the eighth house, as those of you who study astrology know, rules many things. Above all else, it rules secrets. And you might say, well, does this mean that his secrets are going to come to light? Not necessarily. The eighth house is also the house of other people's money. It deals with taxes as well. And so he is doing very, very well when it comes to joint finances or other people's money, and it's private. It's hidden because the eighth house is secrets. Now, the eighth house is also the house of transformation and transmutation. It is a psychic house. In Trump's chart, I'm interpreting this financially because I haven't heard of him using his spiritual side or his intuition or anything along those lines. So when it comes to joint finances and other people's money and taxes, things look nice for him. They look good for him. I'm just reading it. Now we have a full moon on March 9th, and it falls in his first house. This is the most personal house in the zodiac. It's the me house. And so on the full moon, things come to a head. And what this does is gives him even more energy to promote himself. When we have planets in our first house, the mantra becomes, I'm doing what I want, when I want, how I want, because I want. And you might say, well, Trump does that all the time. Yeah, well, this is going to be even more. Okay? He's doing his thing. Other people do their thing, but he's doing his thing. So there's a balance. Okay. We have a new moon now, 2 weeks after the full moon. The new moon occurs after the dark of the moon, when things have been uh, low energy. On the new moon, everything starts moving forward again. And you might say, well, does this mean then that the desire to see his taxes will surface again? Of, of course, that is absolutely a possibility. Does it mean he's going to reveal them? No. This is still the house of secrets. And so this is secrets involving joint financial arrangements. And you might say, well, if it's secret, how will we know about it? Well, we won't. We can see it right here. This is where we see it. Okay. In our charts, those of you who are spiritually advanced, the eighth house can be a move, a deeper move within, an understanding, a transformation of the ego. In Trump's case, he has indicated that that's not how his chart works. It's very basic and very primary. And so we're talking here about other people's money being kept secret. And there we go. All right. I think that, yes. Now, we've got three things going on in this chart. I've just combined them. First of all, I want to start up here with Venus. Venus is the planet of love and money. It is the lesser benefic. Wherever it is, it brings happiness. It's in his ninth house of long distance communication. That means communication with foreign leaders, perhaps. Foreign communication, foreign travel. It's a big picture in the ninth house. So he is looking at the big picture and he's very pleased with it. On the 28th of March, Venus enters his 10th house, which is his public image, his career. And Venus brings a love with it. His followers, his fan base will love him. And wherever Venus is what you love. Well, he loves travel. He loves the big picture. And when it goes into his 10th house, he loves the limelight. He loves being the leader. So he's going to be happy with his public image at the end of the month. I can't tell you why. I don't know why, but he will. And this can actually increase his popularity. Again, his fan base is going to stay with him. So he's very happy about his public image. Now, he's happy with it. It doesn't mean anybody else is. I hope I'm making sense to you. You can feel really good about something in your life, and the rest of the world might go, huh? What are you talking about? Why does that make you happy? Well, you know more about yourself than other people do. And so he's going to be happy with his public image and with being in a position of leadership. We have to wait and see how that pans out because it's the end of the month. But in the interim, lots of foreign travel, lots of communication with world leaders, etc. All right. Mercury is retrograde and direct in his seventh house. Now remember, I talked about the fact that the sun was in his seventh house. Mercury is adding confusion, though. Relationships are unsettled. And you might say, well, that's because he's firing people and hiring people. He's done that since the very beginning. So I don't know that we can look at it quite that way. However, his relationships are unsettled and confused. And after Mercury goes direct on the 10th, legal action can won't clear up, it won't go away. But Mercury is what we think about and talk about. He may get out there and do more one-on-one handshaking, but his relationships will move along more smoothly. And that will be on the 10th when Mercury goes direct. On the 13th, the sun moves out of his 7th house. So, and Mercury's going to stay there till the end of the month. And so there's lots of negotiation going on, lots of talking going on. Now, let's look at Mars. This is the transiting Mars, the orbiting Mars. I put it in this outer wheel because it sits on his vertex, the 19th and 20th. This is very interesting. Mars is passion. It's war. It's what you fight with and fight for. The 5th house is fun. The 5th house, any kind of fun. Sex, speculation, gambling. That's your 5th house. Children, that's his 5th house. And anybody else who has children, okay? On the 19th and 20th, Mars hits his vertex. Now, the vertex is our karmic role in life. And everybody has their vertex in a particular point, always on the right-hand side of the chart. Well, his vertex in his 5th house of fun and games indicates that there can be impatience, a drive toward, or even arguing with or fighting for his gambling, his children, his sexual activity, because that has come up with the Me Too movement. If you recall, the day after his inauguration, the first event that occurred was a women's march, a global women's march, but I think it was organized in the United States, that really escalated worldwide. And of course, that is the Me Too movement. So that there can be more accusations, more sexual information that comes to light, more speculative investments that come to light. And he can just be playing golf like a maniac, because that's fun, and eating chicken. So we have to wait and see how this shakes out. Remember, the Trump chart is an anomaly. And so I'm giving you the information, and you just keep your eyes open. I know that the chart that I have for him is accurate because I was able to do accurate diurnals for his presidential inauguration and for his election as well, the first time he ran. So we're going to see how all this shakes out. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And so if you would like me to read your chart, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. Select the readings that you would like, and I will get back in touch with you and give you an awesome reading. So, dear friends, till next time, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours.